Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 9 of 31 Days of March Madness. I'm Laura Serrant, and I'm a global inclusive practice specialist and a leadership development coach. As you know, we are moving through March and sharing musings, thoughts, and questions, I suppose, about what makes us sometimes play tame as opposed to the lions and lionesses that we are, trailblazing our way through our lives just as we want to. And we're using the alphabet to help guide our journey, at least on the first part of this month. And today we are on the letter H. And H stands for human. Now you might think, well, we're all humans, so therefore what is there to discuss? Well, there are two kind of ways of thinking about humanity. There's the human being and there's being human. And what's the difference between these two things? Well, in the term human being, the being part is always what makes the difference. And in the term human being, being is a noun. It's a name. It's a categorization of who we are. It's a scientific way of distinguishing us from the animal world. But being human, the term being makes a difference. Being is describing and is positioned as a verb. That means it's a doing word, it's an action. It talks about what we do, what makes us human, and how we are different from other species, other animals, etc. Being human sits much more in the psychological, the social, the emotional parts of who we are, not simply our physicality and our definition. It's the qualities that make us people. It's the qualities that determine how we act and react to each other as people. It encompasses all the 5 senses that we have, but also the 7 deadly sins. In being human, we can talk about the variation between us in our characteristics, in our emotions, in how we choose between right and wrong, in how we determine the way we want to live our lives. Being human is part of our cultural stamp and identity. But like many things about humanity and being human, it varies between people. And it also varies depending on the context and the situations we find ourselves in. This fluidity and change and adaptability that we have as human beings is our strength. But it also allows us to be fallible. That means we can make mistakes. We can have failures. It means that we don't expect or often experience that everything happens without incident. So embracing our humanity and being fully human means allowing and expecting mistakes to happen and errors and obstacles to come in our way, and not use those as an excuse not to try or not to make a change or not to take risks, but use those as opportunities to show how we are able to move forward, to improve, to adapt, to learn. Lisa Nichols, who is a really, really famous speaker and someone who I listen to quite often from the States, talks about failure. And she talks about the way in which we only fail forwards. And I really love that, because what it means is that we take failure as part of our human blueprint, if you like. And then we use that as a measure to get us to think about how we might be different or how we might do things differently the next time. Being human is also not just a sole, singular action. Being human recognizes the importance of community, of belonging, of family, of society. Being human embraces our roles and responsibilities in all those areas. Being human is what connects us. as people. And in that connection, we recognize and make contributions for ourselves and for others. The strength of the pride of lions is not only in the singular, it's also in the collective. They work together, each having their role and their contribution that makes sure that they thrive, they survive, and they continue on. While they're not human, they encompass the essence of being human, and that's knowing your place within the community and also knowing the community's place within you. Relationships, connections, and humanity go together. If we think about the world of work, if we think about evidence research from the most top companies that we have, we will see that more than half the people who leave their jobs when they've grown to executive status or when they've developed their businesses in the way they do, they leave because of relationships. And it's absolutely key that when we look at the data, what we see is that the thing that keeps people working, the things that keeps people enjoying the work that they do, or the leadership or the teams they work with, is the relationships they have. People are more likely to leave or to give up because of poor relationships or poor experiences than they are because of the money. Being human is about choosing to be connected, choosing to be open, choosing to be wholly focused and wholly aware of all the things that make you you. Being human is more than just being a human being. So take the time to be human. Take the time to see that humanity in other people. Take the time to be part of the collective and be clear about your contribution to the whole. So I'll leave you with that. Today is the day. What are you going to do that makes you human? I'll see you tomorrow.